Ready, guys?
We talking about Bison Farm.
The Bison Farm.
Good job, Lincoln. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we want to talk about the Bison Farm that we got to go to this year for Open Farm Days.
Yeah.
It was called the Frontier Bison Farm and Gull Lake Honey Company. Last year we went to...
Last year we went to a different farm. It was a little bit closer, 16 Hand Stables, and it was cool though because they had like horseback riding. That was actually the biggest highlight. It was like super hot that day.
Yeah, but Lyric got to ride a horse for the first time.
First time riding a horse, and they had goats and stuff at that one as well.
Chickens.
We always have a good time at these farm days whenever they happen. So as soon as I mean, I don't know how long they've been going on for, but we've just been going for a couple of years now. And there's always a good time. Great day for the kids to get out and do something different outdoors.
It is a unique experience where you get to meet your rural neighbors. It's always 2 days in August. It's an educational and experiential agricultural based initiative to learn about where your food comes from, which I think is a fantastic thing for kids to be able to see animals, touch animals, meet farmers, see plants growing, pick plants, go to gardens. There's such a variety of things that you can do for Open Farm Days and what you really want to see. This year I really wanted to see the Bison Farm. They had a focus on the bison farms this year because they are a keystone animal in the farming industry. They are trying to ramp up the bison industry, and bison farmers are really encouraged to, grow their herds, just because back in the day the bison herds got really poached, and they're just trying to bring that back up. And the best way that you can support bison farms and farmers is to buy bison meat. So we bought some bison meat, which I'm excited to make some bison burgers. While we were there, they had a food truck.
Yeah, they had like an everything food. It was like a pretty large menu on this food truck, like anything deep fried you can think of. But they used a lot of the bison meat for like random things, like a hot dog. You could buy a bison hot dog made from the meat from that farm, which was really cool. Yeah, like typical snack. I think we got like a dill pickle poutine.
That was really good, actually.
Deep fried dill pickle poutine and bison hot dogs. So like, which is good because you're an hour out in the middle of nowhere, right? So at least it's something to tie them off.
That's right. It was great for lunch.
Get home. Yeah.
So they told us a funny joke on the hay ride to the bison field, and it was, what did the mom bison say to the baby? Going to kindergarten. Do you remember? She said, "Bye, son." Can you say bye, son?
Bye, son.
On a bison farm, right?
Because it was paired with the honey farm, it was really cool because we got to go on a tour of the honey extraction facility.
Yeah.
That was really neat. The gentleman went quite in depth with how the whole process works, answered tons of questions. He even had a bee box weightlifting challenge for people. That was really neat. And yeah, the facility was really cool to see it all and have kids look at like the bee boxes.
Oh sure, now it separates from the other box.
If you know anything about honey or beekeeping, this is a piece of beauty. This is a beautiful frame of honey. It's fully capped. So the bees have filled all the cells with honey. They've dried it down. They've processed it in the ways that bees do. Once they are confident that the moisture content of the honey is appropriate, they cover that cell in wax. And they create a sealed vessel. In that sealed vessel, the honey will stay good indefinitely. So,
That's amazing.
if honey is wet, if the moisture content of the honey is over 20%, it will start to ferment.
Bees.
And that is how you make mead, produce alcohol.
Oh, I'm not drinking.
But bees do not like to drink alcohol.
They have an extraction tour of the honey, and Lorne and his wife run the honey farm. It was really cool. He's like pig farmer background, and then he didn't want to do that, so he started honeybees. And it was really funny because he was talking about like the good sizes of a colony of bees, and he was like, oh, you start with like a volleyball size of colony, but in the summer when they're like at their peak, a good size is the size of a pillowcase. So can you just imagine laying on a pillowcase of bees? That's like your perfect size to run for a colony. And a small colony, they bring their small colonies in to like a hot room, which they bring it down to like a refrigerator temperature in the wintertime. And so a small colony is like, I think, a few thousand bees. And then they'll leave their larger colonies out kind of in the environment in an insulated setup. And those colonies can be like 30,000 plus bees, which is crazy. Plus there were bees flying around, so it was good education on that front. Then with the bees and the bees wax, they had candle making, which Lyric really wanted to do, but the wax that you had to dip it in was quite hot.
Yeah, they basically had like a giant vat of like molten wax. And you just dip the string in, let it dry, dip it in, let it dry, dip it in, let it dry. Until it gets bigger. We watched one kid for 15 minutes doing it, and then he dropped it.
Oh, yeah.
And it fell to the bottom. They're like, yeah, it's done.
Start again.
I'm not doing. I'm not so.
You want to do it yourself. I think the thing that this one liked the most was the honey tasting station. What was really interesting was that they had all of the three or four different honeys from different pollinated plants. So you had like a buckwheat, I want to say it was like a flax weed, fireweed, dandelion, and canola. So you got to taste the four different ones and take a guess which one belonged to which. So since we tried them all, then when we went to the gift shop, I of course had to buy the big one. Yeah, so I bought the summer blend, which is more of a canola based honey, raw honey, and this is more what I'm familiar with, this taste, and so I bought the one that I know we're gonna like. But I also bought the spring floral, which is more of like your dandelions and your fireweed and buckwheat, so totally different in terms of like palate and like even consistency. It's more runny, this one is more solid, so it was really really neat to see like the different honeys and to taste them as well.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. Yeah, like depending on whatever flower they're pollinating, they make a totally different tasting honey. It's pretty wild. And the flavor profiles are very different.
This is the spring floral honey that he was talking about. That has anything before the first canola flowers. This is the honey, the spring one. And then they have the summer honey right here, and that one has the canola in it, which makes more sense why it crystallizes more here, because it's the summer honey. It has way more pollen and dust from the canola.
These are a couple of honey sticks we picked up from their gift shop.
There were tractors and toys. We'll get there. This year they are shining a spotlight on one of Alberta's keystone species, the bison, which has been a historically important part, not just in the ecosystem in Alberta, but also a keystone ingredient for people that have lived on this land. The Alberta bison is deemed to be the cornerstone of the diversified livestock industry in Alberta, and it represents almost half of the Canadian bison herd on farms. How much does a bison weigh? A mature bison bull will weigh approximately 2,000 pounds, while a mature cow will weigh approximately 1,100 pounds. There are 472 Alberta farms with bison, and there are 65,000, just over 65,000 head of bison. Bison look big and slow, but don't be deceived. They turn quickly and can run up to 30 miles per hour. They can reach their top speed in just a few strides. This place was called the Frontier Bison Farm and Gull Lake Honey Company. It's really cool because it's a joint family kind of operation. There's some of the family runs the Bison Farm, and another part of the family runs and got started doing the honey, which was really neat to see both sides of it and yeah, go get to do it both in the same day. It was out in Lacombe or near Gull Lake, which from Edmonton is, what was that, about an hour drive?
Yeah, about an hour.
Lincoln, what did you like?
Anna.
Did you like the tractor ride?
With the bucket on. It's the bucket on.
With the bucket on? What did we ride? What part did we ride on?
It's the cap on with cap on with the bucket on.
The tractor has a cab on it, but what was the tractor pulling?
A wagon.
A wagon.
Too much people on wagon.
There was
That's
too much.
right.
Don't.
A really long.
That's that go.
Did we sit on hay bales on the tractor?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what were you eating? Do you remember?
Popcorn.
Oh, popcorn.
Yeah.
And what else? Do you remember what we were drinking? Do either of you remember what we got to
Hot
drink?
chocolate.
Yeah, hot chocolates. They had a great setup right when you get there. They had cute little bison toys, but then they also had it was a local coffee company, I believe.
Yeah, they actually were in the same area. We actually drove by them, like on one of the township roads. I can't recall, but it was probably like within a 15-minute drive of the farm.
Yeah, so they were set up there so you could get your lattes in the morning, take them on the wagon ride, go do the bison tour. We lost a baby. What was really interesting was just some of the little frequently asked questions about bison, like that baby bison are orange and then they turn brown.
They too brown. They Papa.
They turn brown like
Papa.
Grandpa?
Yeah.
I don't think Grandpa
after
turns
some
brown.
sun tanning, maybe.
They also, you can collect bison dung, and back in the day they used to use it to burn as firewood, because in the prairies we don't have much for trees. Could we touch bison there, Lyric? No.
These guys were wild. A little bit wild and pack mentality.
Yeah, but it was neat to still go out on the tractor and drive through the pasture and yeah, just get the full story of how the farm got started. Next year, on August 17th and 18th, 2024, is the next Open Farm Days. So don't forget to mark it in your calendar and check it out next year.
Check it out.
Yummy. Okay, here, you spread it on.
Okay.
Got it? Peanut butter and honey. It's good. You got it spread it on? Good. Okay, here, you take a bite. Peanut butter and honey.
You feel right.